Who you talking about yourselves?
Yeah.
Shh. No, you're not. Video.
Children's Coalition, April 10th, 2010. Name of person being interviewed is,
Walter C. King Jr.
sir, what is your birthday?
8/13/48.
Name of people being interviewed, attending the interview.
Sandra.
Tiffany Monroe.
Carlton Cartwright.
The organization you're working with is Children's Coalition. Sir, what is your war and branch of service?
I served in the Vietnam War. I was aboard a DD-214, a destroyer. I didn't see no battles, no wars, nothing like that. I cruised in the Mediterranean. It was peacetime for me, but I enjoyed it. I'm glad I didn't see or to kill anyone.
What's your rank? What was your rank?
My rank was E2. I was a seaman. Seaman E2.
Where did you serve?
Where I served the Mediterranean.
What year was that?
That was 1970 when I went in.
And through
1970 to 1971. I got what they call an early out. From there, I left there, came home, spent time, family, and from there I joined National Guard. National Guard, that's where I got to know a great deal about the Army. I didn't go to the Army at first, but I went to National Guard. National Guard, we did a lot of traveling and a lot of training. I was a cook in the National Guard. We went to San Juan. No, I mean, that was in the Navy. But in the Army, we went down to Mexico. El Paso was one of the bases we served at, and the Florida National Guard. The people I worked with were some very good people. We became as a family, and I still right now today consider those people as a family. And we got more than a family. We got like brothers and sisters. We slept, we ate together, we showered together, and we came as one. And that's basically, I mean, in anything that you do in as coming a family is very good. Now, the training we took was very good. It was in White Sands, one place.
was that New Mexico?
That was New Mexico.
Arizona, okay.
New Mexico. And we did a lot of training, I got to see a number of things that I didn't know nothing about the Army and how it moves. It moves on a full stomach. That's what it moves on. And if it wasn't for the cooks, there wouldn't be no Army. We got up 3 o'clock in the morning preparing meals. We served, when we went to Fort Blitz, we served over 4,000 men at one feeding. And we sent that amount of meals also in the fields, 4,000 meals to the fields. What you're talking about, we put them in what they say, it's a meramite. That's how they ate and slept. And one of the things we did accomplish in the 265th, the noon meal. We stopped the noon meal being served in the whole armed forces, real talk. What had happened, we would get up morning, starting breakfast at 3 o'clock in the morning. We served 3 meals, 3 full meals in the field. You got a hot meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But it was hard. Now, I wasn't in the Army doing military, I mean wartime. But I can imagine what a regular soldier had to do if he was in Vietnam and had to cook a full course meal. We got up in temperatures 20 degrees. Can you imagine? Some can, some can't. You don't want to get up out of your warm bed. I didn't, no. Not at 20 degrees. And you got laggers that come through and all of this, didn't want to eat. They wanted coffee, but we had coffee around the clock for soldiers. This is something they had, coffee, donuts, in the midnight hour with guys that pulled duty at night. We had that for them. So that was there for them. But throughout the armed forces, I'm saying, throughout the armed forces, we stopped that. We protest. Our cooks protest, and we stopped that. Right now, what they do, what they serve as a noon meal in the fields is what is called MREs. And it's as good as a hot meal. It's a package you take and drop it in a pan of hot water, and it warms up. And it's very good, very well, very good. The people are, when we went visiting Mexico, people was very nice, very nice, very, very nice. There wasn't no hostile and nothing like this, no. Even when I was in the Navy, the countries I traveled in around about 12 or maybe more different countries. The average person now today on the streets don't get a chance to see what I have seen. It's a privilege and an honor to have done and seen what I did. And it's a beautiful thing. I would recommend any young person to join the military because it's an excitement. It's an adventure, just like they say. And then it is. It's something that you'll never forget. Never. The people you meet. But in some places, when you're in, it's just like you're in civilian life. You're in a war zone. You have a war zone there. But you won't want to cruise the big cities, what they call here the suburbs. That's what I did. But when you go in the bad part of town, that's where you got your money taken and beat up. That can happen here as well, so there. But if you travel the suburbs and know who to talk to, you wouldn't get hurt. Many of guys, the ship I was on, they got hurt because they didn't travel with one by themselves. But you want to travel as a group, 5 or more, not 2, not 3, 5 or more. And it was a very interesting thing, very interesting. And if I had to do it again, I would do it all over again. Is there any more questions?
Where were you in basic training?
Basic training was Great Lake, Illinois.
Okay, and what year was that?
That was 1970.
Okay.
Basic training was an experiment for me. I had never been away from home. It was like being in a prison to me because you couldn't get out and go nowhere.
Where were you born?
I was born in the state of Florida, right here in Riviera Beach, Florida. And there was, like I said again, I'm 62. It was a dirt road. It was a country town where I come from. Then, but it's a big city now, big city. But basic training, we didn't do what they do now in the military. They run, I ran, jump, sit up, and throw the softball. We didn't do no physical activities. We mostly what it was about classrooms. That's what the Navy was all about then. But today's Navy, today's Army is a physical thing. But I enjoyed it. Even then when I was in the Navy, it was nice. And when we came back from across the water, the Mediterranean, I was stationed in Newport, Rhode Island. We came back during the winter months. In 71, you had one of the worst blizzards there was in Newport, Rhode Island. We had at one time, I think it was around about 5 foot of snow on the ground. In order to get back on base, you was on base, you was on base. If you was off base, you was off base. But we had to push a bus in order to get back on base. The ship was our home. So if you didn't have no money or nothing, you was stuck out there in the cold. So we pushed that big old bus and we got back on base. And there was on ship, there was nothing to do. But see, I'm a Florida boy. So they had an Olympic-sized pool. I swim every day. Where you going, Walter? I'm going swimming. Do you know how cold it is outdoors? Yes. I know how cold it is. I said, I'm going to the pool. And that's where everybody went. A lot of people went that was in the Navy that was from down south. You didn't sit aboard ship. It was nothing to do. And in the cold months, that's what we did. My duties aboard ship, I was what they call a gunner's mate. It was a 5-inch 38, what they call it. Now, one of the worst things I did as being a tech, serving one of those, I wanted to see which way the bullet goes. I stuck my head outside of the tarp. It was just like somebody putting a 45 right alongside my ear, and bam. That lasted around about 6 months. Couldn't hear nothing out of. I got a problem with my right ear right now today behind that. But you learn. It's an experience. But I'm gonna say it again. It was not to kill no one. No one want to live with that. No one. Are there any more questions?
How long was basic training?
Basic training was 2 months. And we had what they call calisthenics. Now, our class, our company, what you call colored company, we had 21 flags. It was a very nice thing. Now, once you did that, you got a medal for it. And you got to throw what kids call today, a prom, where we had a big dance. After that, because we had earned 21 flags. I don't know today if they still do this or not, but it's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. They have church services in their Navy, and that's where I got my relief on Sundays. They ask you, you want to go to church or you want to stay in the barracks. But I was brought up in the church, just like my little niece sitting here in front of me. And we live and we stay in the church. If it weren't for that, I wouldn't be the man that I am now today because of the church. And they have not only in all armed forces, you have that. And you need someone to sit down and talk to. Your best friends. But you don't need a friend. You can sit there on the edge of your bed at night. I did this many nights when I was in basic training. I said, Lord, when this gonna be over with? But it was over with. After I got out of basic training, I had a problem with my knees. I didn't go to a school or anything. So they sent me right straight to a ship in Newport, Rhode Island. That's where I started from. Started from there, and we went across the ocean. It took us 3 months to cross. It could have took us shorter, but it took us 3 months to cross. We went to Italy, Sicily, Malta, France, Greece, Turkey. And when we came back, we went down south. The Virgin Islands, San Juan, Puerto Rico. The islands are very beautiful there. St. Croix, St. Thomas. Now when we, some friends and I, we went off. And we got invited to a wedding right straight off the ship. It was very nice. People are very friendly in the islands, very friendly. The countries I went in, it was no hostility, none whatsoever. I went to enjoy myself. And if, like I said, if I had to do it again, I'd do it all over again. Any more questions?
What was it like in the European theater?
There, they partied in the parks. That's where I did all my fun at, in the parks. You know, you can choose good and you can choose bad, whatever which one you want. There, San Juan, you was given a choice. No, there was no choice. You walked on one side of the street, but all the good stuff was on the other side of the street. That's why they told us to stay on one side of the street. It was very nice. I mean, as a young man, then I enjoyed myself. It was very nice. St. Croix, that's where I enjoyed myself the most. But I can't say that. Puerto Rico, San Juan was even better. Old San Juan. I'm gonna say it again. As far as the big cities, you don't want to see the big cities. The big cities is just like the cities here. It ain't no difference. No difference. The food, ooh, love the food, love the food, love the food. Especially when I was in Spain. No, Italy. Now you want a real good pizza? That's a very good pizza. Very good pizza. Now Puerto Rico, no, we was in Athens, Greece. So we had ordered spaghetti, meatballs, and a bottle of wine. Now the plate, I think it cost us about $1.25 for a large plate spaghetti, 15 cents for a bottle of wine. So the owner said, "You finished?" "Yes." "You want us to save it?" Now this is a restaurant. "Sir, do you want us to save it? You coming back?" We looking at him like we're crazy. We said, "Yes, we're coming back." So we had to be back aboard ship. All non-officers had to be back aboard ship by 11 o'clock. So we don't went and party and did this and did that. So it was around about 9:30, 10 o'clock. We came back and sat down. We didn't get the same plates. No, they gave us another whole plate and a fresh bottle of wine. And we didn't pay nothing second time around. Had a good time. Now San Juan, not San Juan, but Mexico. Now the food there and the way they sit up, they have a big pit right in the middle of the restaurant. And you're talking about something smell good. Oh, you can't help but smell it. And that's why they had it like that. When you walk by it, that was the pool. You're on the inside. An open pit right there. You had pork, you had beef, you had goat. Now, some people, no, it was, what country I went in, they hate dog. Over in Greece. In Greece, dog is just like a piece of beef, the way we eat here. But I have eaten dog and didn't know it. Yes, a Haitian lady fixed the meal for us when I was in National Guard to say, "We'll have you a big party when you come back." And when we finished the meal, the man said, "Where's my dog?" It was a Dachshund. They said, "Dog good." The man kept saying, "Where's my dog?" "Dog good." They had done scan and cook the dog, but to eat it, you didn't know if it was beef, pork, goat, or whatever, but it was very good. Very good. Very spicy. The man thought he was joking. He said, "No, dog is good. Dog is good." Any more questions?
Yes. Your European tour was, what cities did you say you've been to, or countries?
We started off, when we went in, we started off in Malta. That's as you're going through the Straits, the Mediterraneans. The Rock of Gibraltar is the big insurance company. That when you're going through the Straits, that's on your right-hand side as you're going. It's a big, beautiful rock. Now, from what I can, for its history, for they're saying, it's they got a big treasure at the top of that mountain with gorillas guarding that. I didn't go up to see it, but that's the story that's told. So when we left there, we went to Spain. We went to Barcelona. We went to Marseille. We went to the French Riviera, France. That was nice.
How were you treated in Spain and France?
For as a black man, we had tails. I thought it was they was just talking out their head. But it was a true fact for as a black man. Now, I'm not going to do on camera what I did there.
Good.
What I did, a lady that came up to me and my friends, we sitting on the ocean, having a nice drink. So the lady said to her, "You're a black man, you're a black man." I said, "Yes, we're black men. You have tails." I said, "Yes. Would you like to see my tail?" I showed her my pretty tail. Yes, I did.
So in other words, it was racism.
It was racist in France. Was the only racist country that I have ever been in. But the rest of the countries, Greece, Turkey, Italy, they didn't treat you no different than whatever. Like I said, the suburbs. I have had money taken from me when I was in the big cities, when I was there, yes. But the suburbs, the people would take your money, and they would count your money for you. And they'd take their money out, and they'd give it back to you. So what a friend and I did, about 4 of us, what we did, we wanted to see the countryside. So the man put us on the bus. He said, "Make sure these people get back here." So we holding regular conversation like we're sitting here with this interview, talking to people and they talking back. At the end of the trip, we sit down. Beautiful country, Spain, beautiful country. Big, beautiful meal. We said, "How much do you?" "Nothing, nothing, nothing. You owe us nothing. Just you being here." Now we're talking about like from here to Georgia. That was a cruise we went on a bus. And just seeing the roadsides. Beautiful country, beautiful country. We left from there. We went in a place where they call, what country was this? This was Turkey. Maybe it was Turkey, but they have a place what they call the gut. Have you ever been around a hog pen? All right, when you smell that, that's what they had, nothing but bars for around about 2 miles, door to door. When they say it was the gut, it smelled it like the gut. You did any and everything, but if you came out alive out of there, you're doing good. Your life at every moment could have been taken. I'd rather that war zone than Vietnam any day of the week. A jungle, I don't see some jungles. Might not have been a jungle with animals, but people, yes. Yes, indeed. We went from there. Now, Turkey, my sister has a hand-knitted coat I bought back from Turkey. Now, these ladies, they sit on the streets, and that's what they do all day long. They knit. They knit. She priced that sweater. It's priceless. They couldn't give her a price for it. And she have it right now today, and what she does, she got it in a big bag, just like they do with minks. She has somebody come by, take a look at it, keep it clean, and where it won't dry rot and nothing like this. Greece, beautiful country, beautiful country. Italy, the brick ovens, that's what I loved. Loved the food, loved the food. Went there. Sit down, sir, sit down. No problem, sit down. Wine? Yes. That was the only time I ventured off by myself. I'm glad I did. Because, sir, if you believe in the man above, he will take care of you. And he did. Yes, he did. Very good. So we went from there. We went to Rome. The cathedrals there, beautiful, 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 beautiful. I hate today, my pictures got all screwed up and destroyed. Beautiful pictures, man, beautiful, beautiful. where they have in the arenas now where they fought the Romans and all of this, the gladiators, stuff like that. I've seen those places. It's a beautiful country. But where they can't take it from, them pictures are still right here today. Right here today. Any other questions? Ladies?
So what did you do? What year did you get out of the service?
I got out in '72 out of the Navy. Came out of there,
Where did you disembark from?
Newport, Rhode Island.
Go ahead.
Newport, Rhode Island, and from there, Providence, Rhode Island. Now in Providence, they had a place where it was slave trading. Right now today, they have a big platform. Still right now today in Providence, Rhode Island, where they sold slaves. Why it's still standing, I don't know. But the people there wasn't prejudice. No, Providence not a prejudice state, Rhode Island. They're very good. But some people want to keep history around. But why keep history like that around? Just like the Confederate flag, you know. If you want a Confederate flag, each to his own. Just like the war that's going on now across that water. It's a religious war. If you're Catholic, so what? I'm a Jew, so what? Big deal. You my neighbor, so what? You come over eat out of my pot, I come over eat out of your pot. Big deal. But ever since from the beginning of time, it's been that. They've been fighting against each other for centuries, and it's still going to be that. But just like the Bible says, it's going to be rumors and rumors of wars. And that's what this world is made of, wars. They just don't got a little bit more sophisticated, that's all. That's all it has. Instead of bodies now, they got machines. But we still get hurt. Not physically, but mentally. A lot of our young women's come back. You're still a beautiful lady here, outside. But here, it's nothing. It's a blank. That's what the part of wars that hurts. And I'm sitting in, I'm glad, even out here in civilian life, that I've never taken no one's life. I can't imagine standing in the front of a person and pulling a gun and blowing their brains out or shooting their leg off. That's not a good thing. No. Any other questions?
Yeah, so when you got out in Rhode Island, you went to Providence, and what did you do immediately after you got out of the service?
Now, as a country boy, I had never seen the roadside. I could have took an airplane, came home. I wanted to catch a Greyhound bus. That's something I'll never do again. They didn't have I-95 or no turnpike. I stayed on the bus for 3 days. Yes, 3 days. I done set my clothes home in front of me. So all I had was a little grip bag and what I had on my back. When I got to Jacksonville, I had an uncle in Jacksonville. I said, I'm tired of riding. Can I come still? You're talking about, coming across Tennessee, Virginia, Carolinas, then it was beautiful country. It's still beautiful country. I mean, the green, what do they call it? The bluegrass. It's beautiful, beautiful. It was beautiful then. It's still beautiful to see. It is. I left there. I stayed in Jacksonville. I worked with my uncle for around about a year, construction work. So, called moms. Can I come home? No, stay with your uncle. You don't want to see your family. You've been up there 3 months. You don't want to see me. Yeah, I do. I want to come home. Came home. So it was a job I had working at the Breakless Hotel. So I went back there. Worked there for a while. And from there, I got got into heavy equipment. Right now, the job situation is screwed up. I made big money, good money. At the most, I had my paycheck at one time was $1,400, one paycheck. That's when I was driving cement mixer. Construction was booming, booming, good money, good money. Went from there, then I got on bulldozer, front end loader, backhoe. Money was still good. So here, just a year and a half, I stayed out of work for a year and a half. Drawed unemployment. Unemployment ran out. So Walter, which way you gonna go now? But when you stay with something, it costs to live. To be a bum on the street, I was raised better than that. I got more morals than that. So what I did from there, food stamps. We ain't got food stamps. So that was coming to a close. So I like swap shop. So I went out to swap shop. Miss Banks, in that Grove. I love brass. So she said, Walter, I got some beautiful brass over here. I say, sweetheart, I can't afford it. I ain't worked in a year and a half. Tell you what, Walter, come back the first of the year. Make sure you be there on time. And that's where I've been for the last 6 months. Right there in that Grove. It's a job. It's not what I want, but you got to live, you got to eat. And if you want nice clothes, you got to work.
Okay, well, we want to thank you very much for this interview. And we'll be getting you a copy of this. So thank you very much for your time and interacting with the students. Anybody have anything else they want to ask?
Come on,
Just
cook.
say thank you for letting me know all the information. That's really helpful.
Very good. Very good. Do you have any questions? Do you think you want to go in the military one day? Come on.
Not really.
You don't want to see the country? You don't want to see the world?
I wouldn't mind seeing the world. It's just like I have to try to stay close to my family. Like
But how old are you now?
I'm 17 now.
17. Okay. You still got a long way ahead of you. You take your options. You're finna come out of school, right? Or you're out of school?
I'm out of school.
You're out of school. So what do you do now?
I don't really do anything right now. I'm trying to get a job.
All right. The military is a job. It's not a war zone. All military branches of the service, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps.
Yeah,
It's-
my aunt's in, I forget what it is, but she's somewhere that, like, it's somewhere like the Navy or
All right.
something like that.
They got the same jobs they have out here in civilian life that they does in military life. Same job, same jobs. Somebody have to cook. Somebody have to be a nurse. Somebody have to be a doctor. Somebody have to sweep the streets. Somebody have to wash the windows. Somebody need to drive a truck. Somebody need to operate a tractor. Same jobs out here are in the military. You can go in. You don't have to go in a war zone. No. So think about it.
Okay, so. All right.
Very nice talking with you.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
hope we can sit down and do this again.